Alright, what is up guys, Random Name here. We're going to be watching TSM versus Splyces from Day 7 2016 World Championships. This is a must-win for both teams, and I can't watch this VOD online because there's just been so many issues with it. It just keeps skipping a lot, so I actually downloaded it and playing it off my computer, so hopefully we won't get any skipping. But this really is a must-win for both teams. For TSM, they're currently at 2-2. And if they lose this game, then basically their destiny is out of their own hands, and it's going to depend on how the other matches play out, whether or not they get a tiebreaker for second place. If Splyce loses this game, then there's pretty much no way that they can come back and get out of the group stages. So, a very important game for both teams. I'm definitely going to be rooting for TSM just because NA team, and I know that if they win, they've actually got a shot to make it in. Even if Splyce wins, the chance of them getting in is still very small. So that's why I'm rooting for TSM. Bans, we got Kassadin, Jace, Malzahar. On TSM side, these bans seem kind of weird. I mean, the Jace makes sense because Wonders played that before. Malzahar, Kassadin, kind of odd, I gotta say. So I don't necessarily like these bans. They must have seen something that they didn't want to go up against. On the Splyce side, we got Nidalee, Lee Sin, Rumble. That makes perfect sense. Spencer's been playing fantastic on his both, especially Lee Sin, but also Nidalee. So good bans there, and then the Rumble makes sense because of Haunter. First pick for TSM is the Syndra. I actually really like that. Bjergsen's a fantastic Syndra player, so that's great. Over on Splyce side, we've got Karma and Elise. I'm fine with the Karma as support. I don't want her mid. It looks like they're going to go for a Vladimir mid, so that's fine then. Elise is a great jungler, so yeah, that's fine. Back over to TSM side, they picked up the Rek'Sai and the Jhin. I love the Rek'Sai pick. I do not like the Jhin pick. Because Jhin has a timer on him. When you pick up a Jhin, you're saying, I'm going to give up my late game 80 carry for a very strong early and mid game. And that's why I don't like it, because it's very easily counterpicked. And you can see that immediately with Splyce as they pick up the Vladimir and the Ezreal, who will both strongly outscale the Jhin, and the Vladimir will be extremely difficult to kill late game, and the Ezreal will be extremely difficult to kill late game. So yeah, TSM needs to get an early advantage with the comp that they've drafted. I do, however, like these last two picks, the Gnar and the Braum. Haunter's been fantastic on the Gnar before, and it gives them some added tankiness and engage. And then Biofrost has actually been really good on Braum. I like that he's on a tank because he has been showing that he's a little bit flustered. I mean, he's a rookie. This is his first time at World Championships. When they put him on a squishy support, he was, out of position a lot. He was getting punished a lot. So putting him on a tank where it hurts less when he makes a mistake is definitely a good call. Last pick for Splyce is going to be the Irelia. So that's actually good for Splyce because Irelia is a pretty strong into Gnar. I know that some people say that she's actually a counter matchup for Gnar. It really depends on who gets the first kill, right? If Irelia gets the first kill, it's pretty much over because she can just completely, take over the lane and just all in the Gnar over and over and over again. So yeah, both win for both teams, or must win for both teams, especially for TSM if they want to make it out of the group stage. Even if Splyce wins this one, there's a good chance they still won't make it out of the group stage. So they're kind of playing spoiler right now. So yeah, the top lane matchup is incredibly volatile. It can really favor the Irelia if she gets an early kill. And then as far as the jungle is concerned, Elise's early ganks I feel like are slightly better than the Rek'Sai, but I do feel like the Rek'Sai strongly outscales the Elise. He just gets so tanky, or correction, she gets so tanky, and it's just very hard to deal with her, and she still has a lot of really good engage in those late game team fights. As far as mid lane is concerned, the Syndra should be able to bully around the Vladimir a little bit in the early game, but the longer the game goes on, the worse it gets for Syndra, because Vladimir can pool her ultimate. And then Vladimir's sustain just gets so huge, he'll pick up Spirit Visage, and it will become very difficult for the Syndra to deal with him, especially if he, pops Ghost, runs forward, Proto Belt, Flash, all that fun stuff. So, it's gonna really depend on how much of a snowball TSM can do early game. Looked like TSM started a camp, so they started Krugs, and Splyce is doing a good job kind of forcing them, zoning them off the camp so they can't get level 2 first. As far as this lane matchup is concerned, like really early game, like the first level or two, it'll favor Splyce, but around level 6 that'll flip to the Jhin Braum lane, and they'll have some really strong all-in potential. And then in the late game, once Ezreal gets a couple items, it'll flip again and it'll favor the Ezreal again. The Braum will always be useful as far as its tankiness. Karma kind of falls off a little bit in her utility. I think she's strongest around mid game. Like late game, she just becomes basically like a shield bot essentially. And then occasionally she can land her snare on a good target. Yeah, that's exactly what I would expect. Trashy's up top lane. He's trying to snowball this Irelia. Haunter's doing a good job not giving it away too much. He's just wasting the time of Trashy, which is exactly what I would hope that a good top laner would do. They give the blue over to Bjergsen. That's going to really help him to stay in lane because Vladimir can just continuously push. And Syndra needs a lot of mana in order to be able to punish the Vladimir because he's just going to keep sustaining. So you basically have to kill the Vladimir like 2 or 3 times over. Ooh, that's really bad. They might be able to trade this back. Okay, so that wasn't that bad. So Trashy gets the first blood, but he doesn't get there's nobody who gets an assist on that, so it's only 400 gold. TSM gets the assist, so that's actually 450 gold total for them, though it's split over multiple people. So slight gold advantage for TSM because of that play. But Trashy, it's more impactful because Trashy got all of the gold, while it's split up among multiple people for TSM. That's really good job. Great job by TSM. And now Trashy's going to lose most of his jungle on the top side. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with Trashy's build so far. He went mobility boots. He used his first blood gold to get mobility boots, which is really freaking weird. Doesn't give you any combat effectiveness. Doesn't allow you to really kind of snowball any of the lanes that much, unless you're just like constantly ganking. Yeah, I'd expect Rek'Sai to show up in bot lane here shortly. He'll probably clear his red and then look to go bot lane. And Braum will hit 6 soon, so he can do his stand behind me into ultimate, and then Jhin ultimate to follow up Rek'Sai knock up. Looks like Rek'Sai is backing. Okay. I feel like that's a little bit of a missed opportunity. Going top lane. Okay, interesting. So he's really hunting for Trashy. He knows that the red buff is up. He dodges it. Okay, that's good. That's a ghost for a flash. That's a fair trade. Because, flash is on a longer cooldown. I don't know why TSM isn't punishing Splyce right now in the bot lane. You got Ezreal low mana, Karma low mana, routinely pushing up over and over and over again. Like, yeah, it's good call from Splyce to back off there, because if Rek'Sai shows up, that's a double kill for TSM. This is good by Svenskeren. He's invading yet again. They look like they're going to go for a dive on the Aurelia. This is smart. This is really smart, because if the Gnar gets ahead, then if the Gnar gets ahead, then the Aurelia will be useless. Oh, good job. Lands the stun. Okay, good. Alright, this is good for TSM so far. But they need to accelerate. So they've got a couple kills, but they need to turn that into the first tower. If they get the first tower, then they can kind of run away with this matchup. But until they get that, it's going to be very difficult. Yeah, you can see just because Gnar got that one kill, it becomes way easier for him to trade with the Aurelia. Now they're going for a bot lane dive. Good job. And this is really smart by Haunter. You see how far he's backed off of the turret? He knows that the next play is a dive on top lane, and he immediately backs off. That's the sign of a really good top laner, is that he understands that he is at risk, because 4 people just showed on the bot side of the map. That means that the dive top lane is a very real possibility. The only way that he could have possibly done a little bit better than that was if he tried to hard shove the lane right before the 4-man dive happened. So that way it bought a little bit more time for his team to try and get the first tower. Because Splyce was able to get the first towers, which allows them to get quite a bit more gold than TSM. That's good. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. He avoids the dive. He gets the flash from the Elise. TSM also gets the first Drake, so that's very good. That's really good. Yeah, minor mistake by giving that kill to the Braum. But yeah, that's going to allow them to get mid tower. Okay, this is fantastic for TSM. Now you push out bot lane, you rotate the Jhin to the top lane, you get the top outer turret, and you are then way far ahead in the game. Not sure what Bjergsen was doing up there. The rest of his team was visible on the map, so Splyce knew that Bjergsen was alone. So this is one of the most common mistakes that people make, is that you have to play around your team. right? If you know your team is in no position to help you, if you're past river, you really have to question, why am I past river? Because you know that there's no help coming for you. If ooh, well done, good job. That's actually a really good job for Splyce. But yeah, you need to just play around your team, right? You don't know where the enemy team is, so you always want to play around your team. And if your team is in a position to help you, you don't want to be in an aggressive position, right? You want to be in a neutral or defensive position. You want to play aggressive when you know that your team can rotate to help you. All right, Ocean Drake's coming up next. 2 minutes. So they cleared that scuttle a little bit early. I feel like TSM, they could have done this portion of the game a little bit cleaner. If they transitioned Jin up to top lane a little bit ago, then they could have put a lot of pressure on top tower, probably gotten that tower, and then rotated the Jin back to bot lane to go for dragon. I'm actually very impressed that they've been able to get any damage at all on that tower this early in the game. But I feel like it was a little bit of missed opportunity. They could have possibly gotten the top outer tower before Drake spawned, and then they could have been back on bot side of the map for the Ocean Drake. Oh, good job. Chain CC, and that will be top tower. See, this is what the play that they should have been doing like a minute ago, right? If they did this a minute ago, then they could have rotated Drake. Now they might actually give up Drake because of this. Wow. Well done by Bjergsen. He's just so good on that champion. So TSM didn't get punished for that because just Bjergsen's just Bjergsen. He's just fantastic on the Syndra. But it would have been a cleaner play. It would have been a less high risk play if TSM had done what I had said and done it like a minute earlier. But this is actually a really great team fight for TSM. I'm so impressed with how Bjergsen's playing. He's just completely carrying his team. Biofrost is doing a really good job constantly peeling for his team. I really like seeing Biofrost on tanks like these. Just back off now. Back off. Go for Drake. Pick up Drake. Reset. I like the TSM didn't devote like their entire team to getting Dragon. This is one of the things that I talked about before. Oh, well done. You don't devote more people to get an objective than you need to. They only need 2 people to secure the objective, so they sent Bjergsen to get some vision around Baron, and then they sent Gnar, Haunter, down to bot lane to push out bot lane, because the next objective that they want to go towards is Baron control. Wow, that was some great chain CC. That was fantastic. So this is really smart. Look at the vision for TSM on the top side of the map. Look how much vision control they have. The only thing that they don't have is that Splyce has that pink ward and that brush that's right between red buff and Baron. Yeah, this is risky. Wow. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can get this. I don't think they can get the inhib. So this is a common thing that you see in like solo queue is that in solo queue the enemy or the blue team would have gone for that inhib. They would have been like inhib, and they probably would have died. They probably would have given up 2 or 3 kills to get that inhib. Smart teams like TSM realize that the inhib will come, right? We got 2 towers. We should be very happy with those 2 towers and the kills we got. We trust in ourselves that we can continue to snowball this game. They reset, they come back over, they pick up a couple more kills, and now they can either get the inhib or they can get Baron, or they can probably get both. So this is how you play smart League of Legends. You don't overextend. You be happy with what you get. All right? If you get a couple kills, if you get a couple towers, be happy with that. Reset the map. Then continue to snowball your advantage. The way that you lose games is that you overextend and then you give back gold to the enemy team when you don't have to. TSM now has Baron, so they're gonna be. Looks like they're gonna be doing a 0-4-1 comp. Yeah, I like that because the last tower that's standing, that's on inhib is bot lane. So you push in bot lane, you get that tower, you get that gold, and then you start bouncing between mid lane and bot lane. And then once the wave pushes, ooh, wow. Wow, double lift. That was risky. That was really ballsy. Okay, they get the pool out of Vladimir. That's important. I don't know. They might be able to get top inhib. Kabi's back up. It's really going to be dependent upon him. Even though Splyce lost, I still really like Splyce. Obviously, I'm going to be rooting for TSM because I'm in the US and TSM is an NA team. But I think Splyce is probably my favorite EU team right now, just because of their style and just the way they play. I really have a lot of respect for these guys. So this is really good for TSM. They're still in the group. Splyce, unfortunately, is out of the World Championship. There's no real way that they can make it out of group stage. TSM's got to win their last game against RNG if they want to make it into the quarterfinals. So we'll see what happens in that match. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the content on the channel, please subscribe. And if you want to see other videos or you want me to review one of your videos, I'm happy to do that. I'll do the same analysis on your videos that I do on these LCS videos. All you got to do is leave a comment. Let me know which video you want me to review, and I'll be happy to do that. But I hope you all have a great day. This is Randomonium, signing off.